Hello everyone, I'm Ryan,
Hi, I'm Jaylene.
and today we'll do the project analysis for Lentor Central Residences. So why did we come up with this series is because we realized that a lot of people, after choosing the right project, right, they may select the wrong unit or even the wrong layout. That's why we have decided to dive deeper into the layout for Lentor Central Residences, and definitely the preview is coming soon. If you all need an in-depth analysis, you guys can contact us and we will actually understand your situation more, and from there give our opinion and suggestion. So without further ado, this is Lentor Central Residences. It is 99 years. Number of units is 477. Total, there are 2 blocks, 27 and 28 stories high. The TOP date is going to be 2028 on paper. There is a chance that developer may deliver it earlier. So for Lentor Central, right, over here there is a few launches in the past. The first one is Lentor Modern, followed by Lentor Hills, and then we have Hillock Green and Lentoria. The latest one is actually Lentor Mansion, followed by Lentor Central. 等一下，你有没有介绍你自己？
我介绍了，该不是介绍了。
你介绍了。
So the key thing is actually for Lentor Mansion is under harmonization, which is same as the upcoming Lentor Central.
So now let's start with the 1-bedroom in Lentor Central Residences.
In current market, actually a lot of buyers they're very concerned about to enter into 1-bedder, especially in Lentor cluster. So what is your view, Ryan?
Okay, so personally for 1-bedroom, I would say in current market it is not too popular due to the rental yield may not be so good, or if not, there is a lot of oversupply. I think the main concern is oversupply, especially in Lentor cluster. There is a few projects that we have mentioned earlier. But for the 1-bedroom, we need to analyze what is the total supply that we have for us to determine whether can we actually buy into 1-bedroom over here. Okay, so I'm going to use the Hougang cluster over here. So all these condos are within the same cluster, and also they are below 10 years old. So you can see that in this cluster, right, the number of 1-bedrooms that we have is actually 1,376, and the number of total units we have it is 6,730. So in simple math, the entire Hougang cluster in this example, of all the 1-bedrooms, there are only 20%. Okay. Now let's take a look at Lentor cluster. We have Lentoria, we have Lentor Modern, we have Lentor Hill, we have Hillock Green, and the upcoming Lentor Central. You can see that over here the total number of 1-bedroom is 237, whereas the number of total units is 2,419. So coming back, if we were to work out in simple math, right, the total 1-bedroom over in this area is 10%. In fact, it is so much lower than what we see in Hougang cluster. So with that, I can only say that we cannot control the demand, but we are able to analyze what is the supply that is available for the 1-bedroom in the Lentor cluster. So 10% is the amount. The consumers over here can decide whether, is it oversupply or not.
So for 1-bedder, a lot of investors are looking for the yield. What do you think about the rental yield at this Lentor cluster?
Okay, so let me take an example which is in Ang Mo Kio. Maybe I explain a little bit why I'm using Ang Mo Kio is because Ang Mo Kio is closely connected to Lentor cluster. So if you can see over here, I'm using Panorama as an example. The 1-bedroom is averagely around 840,000, and the 1-bedroom rental achieved is $3,000. So per year basis, right, my average yield is around 4.29%, which I find it quite good. Okay, so now let's come to Lentor Central. For the 1-bedroom over here, Lentor Central is 463 square feet. So if I were to use 463 square feet times the average of 2,003 per square foot, that will be 1.06 million. Alright, so if I were to use a rental of 3,000 times 12, that is actually 36,000. And if I were to use 36,000 divided by 1.06 million, around 3.4%.
But I think you underestimate the rental here, because actually Panorama is a 8 years old condo. So I suppose the Lentor Central should be higher next time rental, but just to be conservative.
So next we talk about the Lentor Central 1 bedroom. This is the floor plan. Basically, it's quite typical. You get your master bedroom, you get your balcony, you get your toilet. Key thing I want to highlight is the size, 463 square feet, which I find it very favorable because recently we have seen a lot of 1 bedroom, right? Their sizes are above 500 square feet. Why do I say smaller unit is favorable? Is because usually for 1 bedroom, we are selling it to investor. And that actually makes a difference. Again, do a bit of calculation. 463 square feet, right? The bedroom is around 560 square feet. Around 100 square feet difference already. And if I were to multiply by 2003 square feet again, that is almost 230k for a 1 bedroom. That means same type, but you're paying 230,000 more. So in future, if I want to sell, I definitely need to mark up this price and sell it to the next investor. I foresee that there will be a problem for those bigger size 1 bedroom. So this is actually a very sweet spot for the Lentor Central 1 bedroom, being a nice size of 463 square feet. But of course, our concern is the Lentor Mansion 2 bed 1 bath. So why do we have this concern is that if you realize the size 527, Lentor Mansion is able to have a 2 bedroom. Okay, so what I'm trying to say here is that if the gap is too close for the prices in Lentor Mansion and Lentor Central, right, definitely investor will choose Lentor Mansion.
But what is the transacted price for Lentor Mansion? Because you say the price too close.
Yeah, so for Lentor Mansion, right, we've seen a lot of transaction for the 2 bed 1 bath at around 1.1 million. So again, just now we estimate if our 1 bedroom in Lentor Central is going to be at 1.06 million. In future, if they are going to exit at the same price, definitely investor will choose a 2 bed 1 bath. Or even the renter, if it's going to be so close, right, tenant will definitely favor a 2 bedroom 1 bath more as compared to a 1 bedroom.
Agree. So not only 1 bedder in Lentor Central, there is 1+ study.
Correct. So for the 1+ study, there are only 2 units in the entire development, which I would say the floor plan is also quite typical, and we won't talk too much about that because there's only 2 units. Okay, next let's talk about the 2 bedroom in Lentor Central over here. We are going to flesh out all the layouts surrounding Lentor Central, namely all these projects. Okay, so now let's talk about the 2 bedroom in Lentor Central Residence. So right now we will be using some of the nearby projects in Lentor Central to compare. So why we actually did this comparison is because we realized that if a buyer wants to buy into Lentor Central, right, they will definitely compare the 2 bedroom with the rest of the project. And we want to choose the best layout so that in future when we want to exit, right, we can be assured that our exit strategy is very safe. So first, we'll talk about Lentor Modern 2 bed 2 bath. Why we are using all the 2 bed 2 bath is because for Lentor Central, right, there isn't 2 bed 1 bath. So we'll be comparing with all the 2 bed 2 bath. Lentor Modern 732 square feet, you get a very nice enclosed kitchen, and key thing is that you also have a window. Next is the Lentor Hill 689 square feet. You have an enclosable kitchen as well, which is a plus point. But you can see over here for Hewlett Green, right, 710 square feet, you can see that it actually comes with only a kitchenette. So I would say this is not the best choice for me, in my opinion. Next, we have Lentoria. Same thing over here. The kitchen you will get is a kitchenette, open concept kitchen. Lentor Mansion, this one you can see is a right angle, and there isn't any wall to be built over here. So it's also considered an open concept kitchen.
Why we mentioned the kitchenette will be a problem is because next time when resale buyer come to this area, they will naturally compare all the 2 bedder. Then they see kitchenette will be a bit not in their favorable lah. This is what we think.
Correct. So now let's look at Lentor Central 2 bed 2 bath. You can see that it also comes with a enclosable kitchen. So this is actually a dumbbell unit, and out of all this layout, I personally will favor Lentor Central. I will also favor Lentor Hill and Lentor Modern. But of course, Lentor Modern, my concern is that for a 2 bed 2 bath, it is a little bit big size, meaning what? 732 square feet. As compared to Lentor Hill or even Lentor Central, right, that is almost like 50 square feet apart. And if I were to use 50 square feet times 2003, right, that is almost
I think what you were trying to say is the overall price is higher, right?
Correct, the overall quantum is 115k higher. Usually for 2-bedroom buyers, I would say mostly are investors, and this 115k loading may be a concern for them. But for Lentor Central, you won't have this problem because it's a very nice size at 678 square feet. So how do we determine what price can we actually enter for Lentor Central 2-bed 2-bath? Okay, so over here, you can see that Lentor Hill have already done 1.68, 1.67. So our opinion is that anything below the range of 1.65, definitely you can consider.
Wait, how come you use Lentor Hills transactor price as a benchmark but not the other Lentor project? Is it because the layout is quite similar to our Lentor Central one?
Correct. Why I'm using Lentor Hills is because I'm taking out all the best layout we have in the entire Lentor cluster, and Lentor Hills have the best layout. That's why I'm going to use the transactor price in Lentor Hill to determine what's the price that we can actually accept and buy. So again, our suggestion is that anything below the 1.65 range definitely is quite safe to enter.
So now we look at 2+ study, because actually they have 2+ study in Lentor Central as well. So actually there's two layouts. What is the difference between these two?
So for Lentor Central 2+ study, one is 786, one is 797. The key difference is only on the walkway. So not much difference. But our concern, right, for those buyers who are looking into the 2+ study, our concern is that next time when you want to exit, you have a very big competitor, which is a 3-bedroom in Lentor Mansion. Why? It's because 786 square feet. Over in Lentor Mansion, you are getting a 3-bedroom. But for Lentor Central, right, you are only getting a 2+ study. If today a HDB upgrader wants to buy a 3-bedroom, definitely this 786 square feet in Lentor Mansion will be their key consideration as compared to a 2+ study 786 square feet in Lentor Central. So that's our concern for the 2+ study. Alright. So our top choice for Lentor Central is actually the 689 square feet layout. Why? It's because we have researched and done a summary, and we realized that for Lentor itself, I would say mostly the 2-bedroom actually comes with dumbbell concept. You can see that over here the dumbbell 2-bedroom has 627 units, whereas the non-dumbbell, right, only has 243 units. And the key thing is that within these 243 units, right, mostly they are open kitchen concept, which brings us the point why we actually favor 689 square feet 2-bed 2-bath in Lentor Central, because over here you are getting a typical unit which has a lot of privacy, yet at the same time you are getting an enclosed kitchen. Next, let's talk about the 3-bedroom in Lentor Central Residence. Because we have served a lot of buyers for the 3-bedroom, we realized that the common pattern is that they must have enclosable kitchen. But another thing is that for enclosable kitchen, one of the key problems is that sometimes they don't come with glass. And when there's no glass or window, right, it makes the whole kitchen very dark. So next, let's come to all the floor plans within the Lentor cluster. You can see that for Lentor Modern, right, it doesn't have a glass panel over here. So this is actually a solid wall. Although there is window, but I still feel that it can be better. So you can see that for Lentor Hill, right, you can see that this is actually a glass panel. Plus, it comes with a window. So this will make the whole kitchen very bright. Okay.
Like sometimes we go into a unit with a glass panel. Actually, the whole unit look more spacious than those have the solid wall one when come to resell.
Alright. Then for Hewlock Green, right, I personally don't really prefer this because this doesn't have any glass panel. It's just a solid wall. Okay, Lentoria also don't have. You can see that this is actually a solid wall. Lentor Mansion, I would say this is a half-half because you can see that this is a wet and dry kitchen concept, meaning there is no door in between. So this is almost like an open concept kind of kitchen.
But you have option to build the door.
But definitely you have the option. So our best choice, right, will actually be Lentor Hills Residences. So for Lentor Central, this 3-bedroom compact 915 square feet, you can see that it actually comes with a enclosed kitchen, yet at the same time you have a very nice glass window. Another thing I would like to highlight is that this layout is very nice because even the walkway, right, there's actually a glass panel over here. So it makes the entire unit within the walkway is also very bright. So I would think that this 3-bedroom compact 915 square feet will be the most popular 3-bedroom among the entire 3-bedroom that we have for Lentor Central. So why is this so? Is because it is very easily affordable by the upgraders. So I give you an example. Ang Mo Kio, right, HDB 4-room flat have recently transacted at 1.08 million. And then for the 5-room, it has recently achieved 1.3 million. So I want to bring you to the next thing is what they have purchased. I just use Central With as an example. They have actually purchased this 4-room flat last time at 535,000. For 5-room, they have actually bought at 720,000. Which brings me to my next point. How do we determine whether this 3-bedroom is easily accepted by HDB upgraders? We just need to work backwards and see how much they are cashing out and whether the profits that they have, are they able to buy a 3-bedroom easily or not. So I use this calculation as an example. Ang Mo Kio 4-room selling price 1.08 million. What they have purchased is 550,000, meaning to say their profits is actually 530,000 for the 4-room flat. For the 5-room, it is also 530,000. Why? Because the selling price is 1.25, but they have bought slightly higher at 720,000. So key thing here is that today, if we estimate 2,003 per square foot for Lentor Central 3-bedroom, right, the price will be 2.1 million. Down payment over here, you can see is 526,000. So just by using the profits, they can actually buy a 3-bedroom easily. And I'm not factoring in the principals that they have paid over the years.
The monthly installment.
Yeah, correct. Which they sell, right? All these principal will be going back to them, which is even more. So next time, a lot of buyers buying the 3-bedroom will have concern, will I be able to exit easily in the Lentor cluster? So I just give you a simulation, future exit. If we were to estimate it to be at 2,006 per square foot, I will sell at 2.379 million. So you can see the down payment 25%, right, is 594,000. So from this example, I would clearly say that they can easily afford a 3-bedroom in future.
Because actually you haven't taken into account that monthly installment that they pay over the years.
Correct. I just need to
Top
top
up
up a little bit from my principal. I will be able to buy this 3-bedroom. That's actually how we check whether can this layout be easily accepted by the HDB upgraders. So Jaylin, what do you think of the price for Lentor Central?
Okay. So just now, compared to the rest of the Lentor area, the layout, the Lentor Hills Residence, the 3 compact actually is comparable to Lentor Central. So I would say the price that can accept by Lentor Hills 3-bedroom compact already at 2.1. So I think if we can have 3 compact below 2.1, we will be safe.
Definitely it's a good price to enter. Anything below 2.1, we can go ahead and buy. Anything above that, you may want to consider. Okay? So now let's take a look at the 3-bedroom premium within the Lentor cluster. So as you can see over here, like what we have stated earlier, there isn't a glass in the kitchen area. It is a solid wall. So this one, in our opinion, the layout is not too good. Next, coming to Lentor Central, in our opinion, this has one of the best 3-bedroom premium as well. Why? Because it comes with a very nice glass.
And one thing I noticed for this Lentor Hills Residence is the 3-bedder is at the front side. In typical project, 1-bedroom at the back will be darker. But for this Lentor Hills, don't have this kind of issue.
Okay. Then for Hillock Green, same thing. You also have this glass panel over here, which we personally find is quite good as well. Next, we have Lentorial. Lentorial layout. You can see that the kitchen area, all these are wall, so it will be very dark. Lentor Mansion, again, this looks like an open concept kitchen to me, so we personally don't really favor these two.
When you enter into the unit, then straight away you go to the toilet first. A bit too new generation for me already.
Okay, sure. Okay, next we come to Lentor Central, the 3-bedroom premium over here. So this actually is a very favorable layout because it comes with glass over here, which has a lot of sunlight coming in. Alright. So for the 3-bedroom premium, we have a little bit of concern is that if today developer were to price the 3 premium and the 4-bedroom 1184 square feet at a similar per square foot, right? Just by topping up 220k, I will be able to buy a 4-bedroom. Nevertheless, it is still a very good layout. It's just that our concern is that just by topping up 220,000, if I can buy a 4-bedroom, I will definitely go for a 4-bedroom.
So why is this so important? It's because next time when we come to resell, then actually we'll have a problem already.
Okay, so our top choice for the 3-bedroom, right, will be 915 square feet. Again, definitely 3-bedroom premium 1076 square feet is a good layout. Just that earlier on we shared our concern is that if developer were to price it at a similar PSF, right, the gap is only 220,000. I can buy a 4-bedroom already.
So actually all this is depends on the launching price for this 3 premium and also 4-bedder to judge whether 1076 is a safe buy.
Yes. Now let's move on to the 4-bedroom.
So actually the biggest bedroom in Lentor Central Residences actually is 4-bedder. So we do not have 5-bedder. But there's 2 types. One is 4-bedder compact and the other one is 4 premium. So actually I would say all the 4-bedder layout in Lentor area is comfortable and quite nice. So actually I would say that Lentor Hills still our top choice. The reason being because actually sometimes for 4-bedder buyer, they are multi-generation. So the junior master is maybe a bit important for 4-bedder.
Because it comes with a ensuite toilet.
Ensuite toilet.
That means the door you can actually change it to become an ensuite.
Yeah, correct. So actually for Lentor Hills, why I prefer because actually you have options to enclose either one of the door and make it an ensuite. Okay.
I think Hulot Green and Lentor, they don't have this option. And it only comes with 2 toilets. So if you have a very big family or multi-generation family staying in this 4-bedroom, right, every day in the morning, probably you all will have issue fighting over the toilet.
Because we have experience. Of course, for the Lentor Central, the good things about this 4 compact is all the 4-bedder is facing in front. So won't have a room facing the back and it's darker so won't have this issue. And another good thing is actually
the glass over in the kitchen.
Yeah, so the whole unit will look more spacious and we have this walk-in wardrobe. But the not so good things is we only have 2 toilets. So we'll have the World War III every morning.
Okay.
Next unit type we are looking for in the Lentor cluster is 4 premium. So the difference between the premium and also the compact is the living area. So can you see the difference?
Yes, this one actually is what we call the wide frontage. Wide frontage meaning you have a landscape living area, alright? Landscape living area and dining. This type of layout is very popular in the 4-bedroom itself because why? Over here you have a balcony and all these can actually have natural sunlight coming in. So when you enter in, right, one look you can see that it looks grand as compared to a portrait layout, which is the 4-bedroom compact. You can see this is what we call the portrait layout. So I would say the portrait layout is not as grand, but those who buy the 4-bedroom premium, right, what we realize is that, for example, Lentor Hills, the 4-bedroom premium actually sell faster than the 4-bedroom compact. So that's actually where the demand is coming in. Okay.
But of course, the size difference is very big. So for 4 premium in Lentor Central is 1399 and for the compact is 1184. Jump from the compact to the premium, actually you need to pay another 400k to 500k.
Wow, that's a very big jump.
Yeah. So actually we have select another project called Jetscape to do the comparison to let you have a feel of the ROI. Because of course the premium is good to stay, but doesn't mean the ROI is good.
Yeah. So why we have this ROI calculation is because some buyers, they are buying 4-bedroom for investment. Okay, so we take Jetscape as an example of how we actually calculate the ROI. You can see that for Jetscape, right, this is actually a compact living dining, 1421 square feet, which is similar to what we have in the compact 4184 for Lentor Central.
Portrait layout.
Portrait layout, yes. Then this is the landscape layout for in Jetscape 1647 square feet, which is comparable to the Lentor Central 1399 square feet.
Yeah.
So this is a very good comparison. So now let's take a look at the ROI for these 2 layouts. So you can see that over here, right, for both layouts, they actually buy at the same time 2020, so at 2024. Okay, let's take a look at the ROI. You can see that for the 4-bedroom compact, the ROI achieved is 38%. While the 4-bedroom premium, right, the ROI achieved is 35%. So looking at this, actually in terms of ROI, 4-bedroom compact has the higher ROI.
Even though the 4 premium, they have more profit, but the entry price is much more higher. So actually you can see the entry price 2.8 and 2.3 should be similar to Lentor Central 4-bedder compact and 4-bedder premium entry price, the gap.
Yes. So with that, we have come to the end of our analysis for the Lentor Central. Alright, we hope you have enjoyed this series. Definitely, the preview is ongoing very soon. If you need a more in-depth analysis of the situation, feel free to reach out to us. My contact number is over here. Feel free to drop me a WhatsApp or even call me up so that we can explore further. We will see you in the next project analysis. Bye-bye.
Bye.